Welcome, my friends, to On the Go Devo, Toledo United Methodist Church's message in a moment for busy disciples. I believe our connection is our most valuable commodity, and so this time will enable you to stay connected even on those Sundays when we can't be together. This week we're beginning a new sermon series called Divine Inspiration, and in a way, you were the inspiration for it. You may remember a couple of months ago I asked you to share with me your favorite verses of Scripture, the ones that you memorize, the ones that you find yourself going back to over and over again, maybe even the ones that define you and your faith journey. Well, you responded, and over these next few weeks, we're going to dig deeper into those verses to try to discern just what it is that speaks to us so deeply in just a few words. Today our verse is from the New Testament letter of James, chapter 2, verse 17. And James says this, "So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead." Now this verse, this idea that James espouses, is a controversial one. If you are very mission-minded, if you really believe in putting feet to your faith, then it probably speaks to you at a deep level. But for many, it is disturbing, because it seems to give short shrift to what it is that we believe. It seems to emphasize what we do over what we believe in terms of God and Christ. If you feel that way, well, you're in good company. Because James and his theology have been controversial almost since the beginning. In the early days of the church, when the canon of Scripture, the collection of books and letters that make up our Bible, was coming together, James's letter almost didn't make it in, because many considered his ideas heresy. Many of those early church leaders believed that it was faith, and faith alone, that restored us to right relationship with God. That this was a gift of grace from God that we could never earn. And they considered James's words about works and actions to be the antithesis of a theology of grace. And the controversy didn't go away either. In fact, 13 centuries after James wrote those words, the great Protestant reformer Martin Luther argued passionately that it should be removed from the Bible altogether. Well, luckily that didn't happen, because I think James's words have much to say to us today as modern people of faith. And here's why. Increasingly, we are seeing in our modern churches a huge emphasis placed on the notion of salvation by faith alone. And what I mean by that is the emphasis is increasingly on the questions of, are you saved? And when were you saved? Watch just about any popular television preacher, and you'll likely hear at the end of the service an invitation to pray a certain prayer, after which you will be saved. Or how many times have you encountered someone passionately witnessing for Christ, and that witness comes with the question, if you died tomorrow, do you know whether or not you will go to heaven? Now, I don't mean to disparage the notions of salvation or heaven or faith. I believe deeply in all of those things, and I embrace them for what they are, a gift from God. But what I also believe is that to stop there, to make that the beginning and the end of our theology, it leaves God's real gift unopened on the table. Because I believe the next question, the more important question is, what's next? You're saved? That's great. So am I. I celebrate that. I give thanks to God for it. But what's next? How has the fact changed you? How is it continuing to transform you? How are you different than you were before? How is that gift from God bearing fruit in your life? Because if it's not, if your life isn't different because of what God has done for you through Christ, then I'm left to wonder just how real that salvation is to you. And that really is where James's words find us today.
Some days I'm feeling like I can't win, can't get it right, and it don't matter how hard I try, today is not my day. When it feels like I'm going